This video covers how to analyze the data that you've collected from your SID. It assumes that you've downloaded data from the SID onto the tablet, you've brought the tablet back to the office, and you've connected it to the back of your computer. Once that's all done, all you do is you go to your Internet Explorer page, and then you type in the web page of the analysis software, which is www.mytrafficdata.com. Here you'll see the login screen, so you select login, and now you'll be able to enter the information that you've been provided by Traffic Technology. Usernames all start with an NN and a 4-digit unique reference to your account, and your serial number, your password will be given to you prior to starting. Once you log in, you're presented with quite a lot of information. Although in this instance we're not going to be going through it, there is lots of information on here. There's user manuals, guides, and different other information that you can set up on the system. However, for this example, we're just going to do a quick web report. So you select Quick Start, Web Report, and now we need to choose the file that you've downloaded onto the tablet. If you select Choose File, it opens up a little Explorer window of your computer, and you can see this computer and the various directories, and on there you'll see plugged into the computer is a Galaxy Tab A. We select that, and then we select the tablet. In there again you'll see directories, and we want to go to the Data Collect directory. In that directory you'll have DSD, which is Digital Safety Display, or SID, and you select that. Within that directory it will show you all the SIDs that you have referenced by DSD hyphen and then the last 4 digits of the serial number for the unit. The unit we've collected from ends 3419, so we're going to go into that directory. Within that directory we've got data files and we've got setup files. In this instance we want to go to the data files. In there we've got a demo file. All files that have been stored within the SID and downloaded will have the extension DSD. So this one's called demo DSD. However, this is named within the SID, so when you're setting up the SID, if you call it, for instance, eStreet, it will be called eStreet.dsd. If you leave the site details blank, it will come up usually with the serial number and then .dsd. But this example, we've already set its demo in the SID. So if we now select Open, the file is now there ready to be processed, and we select Next. In this screen, you'll see that the information has been pulled in, and it shows you a brief histogram of the unit's count volumetric flow. We can see on this unit that there's 2 directions being recorded in the SID, which is an option within the SIDs to record both directions. Standard is just to record the oncoming direction. Now we can set up the criteria for this particular SID and the period of data. So the basic format, so basic is a 6-page report which gives you summary information and is a very good standard report to distribute. We also do an optional extra extended report which covers more detail and covers each individual day, but in general the basic report is sufficient. Here it tells you the start period, the start time of the recordings, and the end time of the recordings. So here we can see the recording started at 11 o'clock on the 11th of the 3rd and ends on almost 7 o'clock on the 18th of the 3rd. Again, you can select a different period. So for instance, if we just wanted to start from, say, let's go midnight on the 13th to, let's say, same period, 7 o'clock in the morning on the 15th, it will just process the information for that period. However, in this example, we'll select the whole data set. Posted speed limit allows the data to be formatted in a binned way such that the mean speed, or where the most vehicles are expected to be seen, is based around the speed limit. So here we've got 30 miles per hour. We can also store, again as an optional extra on the SIDs, and can be activated at any time, entrance speed and exit speed. So if your unit has the ability to record the exit speed as well as the starting speed, this will provide two pieces of information for one vehicle. So for instance, if it detects it up to 200 meters away, it will say a start speed and then it will say an exit speed. And what this does is it allows you to analyze the data. Interval, every single individual vehicle that comes through is stored within the SID. However, presenting that information can be difficult as a big report with lots and lots of vehicles on. So binning the information is the most sensible way of doing that. So we can bin that information in 60-minute intervals, 15-minute intervals, 5-minute intervals, for instance. 60 is the standard, so we'll leave it at 60. For each day, we can choose what period we want to analyse. So this is going from midnight to essentially midnight, a whole 24-hour period. But we can change this to just say school times, just to analyse data at school times or what have you. Again, we can select which days we want to do the analysis over. Another option in the SIDs is outgoing and ingoing directions, so in and out. So as standard, the SIDs report on every vehicle coming towards the unit. That's called inbound direction, but if you have selected the option in your device to select outgoing units, outgoing values, that will come up as well. So here we've got direction 1, direction 2, and we'll select that on here. Much in the same way as time is binned in periods, 60-minute periods, we can do the same for the speed. So obviously it records every individual speed, but we can select our own speed bin. So there's a 30-mile-an-hour speed bin system, and these are all definable under account, so you can actually change the information. But for this video, we'll just show you how to use the standard ones. There's a default one there. There's one there for the 30-mile-an-hour ACPO guideline, so that will probably just tell you all vehicles under the 30-mile-an-hour limit as one big block rather than defined as lots of bins, and then vehicles above the ACPO guidelines. But for this example, we'll just select default. We can now select the calculation of speed summaries, really, and each one of these can be selected or deselected, and that will be presented on the report. So for instance, Vmin is the slowest speed for the period that's being presented, so we won't really select that. It's not really applicable in most examples, but it's there as an option. The average speed, velocity, maximum velocity. Here are percentile values. So here's the 15th percentile, the 50th percentile, 85th percentile. 85th percentile tends to be used quite extensively in reporting, and that's what we'll select in this example. I will also select the percentage exceeding the speed limit. Go next. Here we can give the site a little bit more detail. So obviously we called it demo, as I said earlier on, but we can now name it, say, East Street. And we can put a comment on there to say if there was a PCSO that deployed it, you can put their details on there, for instance, and we can put the oncoming and outgoing directional information. Again, these can be user defined. You can call that towards a village or what have you. Here, this is just a report format, report information. So on each report, it will come up with a unique details for your particular area or office or what have you. So you can type your own information in there. And then all you do, we've now set up all the criteria. We can go back if we need to change something. So we can change something. If we go select all the information and now we just go download, this will just download our report in a ready, easy used format, PDF. So if we now open that file, we now see there's our information we put in the unit. So it says there's 30-mile-an-hour posted speed limit. Comment was who was doing it, or can be anything you like. The device is a digital safety display. The period we selected to do the analysis over. So this relates to all the data we're now going to see. So that's the period we've analysed. And then it shows you the successfulness of your safety campaign if you had the smiley face active. So it said the velocity in, which is entrance speed. So they were coming in on average at 26 kilometers per hour, or 26 mile an hour, sorry. And then by the time they left the beam, it was 16. So we had a reduction of 10 mile an hour, which equated to 38% reduction. Again, here we go, we can see the calculated speeds and the tick boxes that we selected. So here we go, we can see the average speed, the maximum speed at that period, the 15th percentile speed, the 50th percentile speed, and the 85th percentile speed, and the percentage exceeding the speed limit in that period. So that's cross-sectional, so that's both ways. That's the oncoming direction, and that's the outgoing direction. And here's a little information about the various bins and the criteria. The next page, the next page shows you a histogram of the data, the volume and time. The next one shows you the speed limit, 30 mile an hour speed limit, and the combined and oncoming direction, outgoing direction, and then the speed histogram. So this is the speed bins that were set up 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. But again, we can use to define them, we can change our own. And that shows you the standard report.